The dream that belonged to her future. The glass spire towered over the dreamscape like a needle of crystallized light, reaching so high it pierced the clouds. Every few seconds, a pulse of blue-white glow traveled up its surface, like the slow beat of a sleeping heart. If this part of the story pulled you deeper into the dreamscape, make sure you hit like so more people can discover it, and subscribe to the Success Engine, because the next chapter unlocks secrets you won't find anywhere else. Remember, the dark histories, the forbidden dreams, the demonic lore behind the worlds we explore, they're revealed only on this channel. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next part of the story and the truths waiting in the shadows. Elara felt that heartbeat echo inside her. "Asterin," she whispered. "That's where my future dream is locked." Asterin nodded. "Yes, and if the mirror face reaches it first..." Her voice faded, the unspoken possibilities too dark to complete. Elara tightened her grip on the dreamlight that still glowed faintly around her hands. "Then we better move." The moment they stepped onto the silver path leading to the spire, the air changed. Music drifted through the wind, not soft, not welcoming, but like chimes being struck out of rhythm. Warning chimes. Elara's heart thudded. "Is that normal?" "No," Asterin said quietly. "It means the future is under threat." The path solidified beneath their feet, glowing brighter with each step. But as they approached the entrance, the dream itself seemed to recoil. The crystal doors shuddered. A swirl of silver mist blocked the way. Asterin inhaled sharply. "The dream gate is resisting." Elara frowned. "It knows who I am." "It knows what's coming," Asterin corrected. Elara reached out. Her hand passed through the silver mist, but the moment her skin touched it, the mist hardened. A wall, cold, smooth, unmoving. "It won't let me in," Elara said, frustration tightening her chest. "Because the dream fears being destroyed," Asterin answered. "If the mirror face touches a future dream even once, it unravels." Elara stared at the spire, pulse pounding. "So what do we do?" Asterin placed a steadying hand on Elara's shoulder. "You rewrite the lock." Elara blinked. "I... rewrite it?" "Dreams obey rewriters," Asterin said softly. "Even future ones." Elara closed her eyes, remembering the feeling in the dream room she had broken free from. She placed her hands on the glowing barrier. "Okay. Truth, right?" Asterin smiled faintly. "Truth, always." Elara took a breath. "My future scares me, but I still want to see it." The mist rippled. Tiny cracks of light formed beneath her palms. She pushed harder. "I want to know who I become. I want to understand the parts of me I haven't met yet." The mist thinned. Asterin stepped back. "Elara, it's working." Elara opened her eyes. The barrier melted away like dew under sunlight. The doors of the glass spire drifted open with a soft, musical sigh. The inside of the spire was impossibly vast. A spiral staircase wound around a central beam of pure light, inside which floated countless fragments of possibility. Scenes from Elara's potential lives shimmered in and out. A version of her studying late into the night. Another performing music on a small stage. Another crying in frustration. Another laughing with people she didn't know yet. Every future she might one day live floated before her. Asterin watched her quietly. Future dreams are mosaics, pieces waiting to be chosen. Elara stepped closer. One fragment drifted toward her, the same image she'd encountered in the very first dream.
The older version of herself standing strong, determined, sure. Her future self. Elara reached out and touched the fragment. Light burst around her, and suddenly she stood inside the dream. She stood in the glowing turquoise field once more. Except now, it was calm. Her older self waited a few feet away. This time, when she turned, her smile was real. "You made it," the future Elara said softly. Elara swallowed, emotion rising in her throat. "What were you trying to tell me before, when the dream collapsed?" Her future self stepped closer, placing a warm hand on her shoulder. "I wasn't trying to warn you of danger," she said gently. "I was trying to warn you of yourself." Elara frowned. "What does that mean?" The older Elara's voice softened. "You give up too easily. Not on others, on yourself." Elara felt her chest tighten. "You stop chasing things the moment they scare you. You silence your own voice when you think someone will judge it. You bury your dreams because you're afraid they might break if you try too hard." Elara bit her lip. "But what if they do break? Then you rewrite them," her future self said simply. "Dreams aren't made to be perfect. They're made to be lived." Elara blinked back tears.
The future self continued, voice like warm starlight. "You have a chance to become me, but only if you keep stepping forward, especially when you're afraid." Elara felt herself trembling. "Why show me this?" Her older self cupped her cheek gently. "Because you deserve the future that's waiting for you, and because something wants to take it away." A crack of thunder rolled across the sky, sharp, violent. The mirror face had found the spire. Her future self stepped back, urgency flashing in her eyes. "Elara, listen carefully." She leaned in close. "Your future is not decided. You choose it every time you take one more step." Cracks raced across the dream. Wind howled. The world shook. Her future self's voice rose above the storm. "And if a dream breaks, you are the one who decides how the pieces fall." A blast of white light swallowed everything. Elara stumbled backward into the spire's inner chamber. Asterin caught her. "Elara, are you all right?" "Yes," Elara gasped. "But he's here." The spire shook violently. Cracks of black glass spread across its surface. Then, the mirror face stepped through the wall as if it were wet paper. His fractured mask glowed with violent blue cracks. Elara stood, hands shaking but lifted. The mirror face tilted his head. "You saw the dream." His voice hummed dangerously. "Now it belongs to me." He reached out. Asterin stepped between them. "You will not take this one." Mirrorface's cloak rippled, and the blast of shadow energy hurled Asterin backward into a column of crystal. "Asterin!" Elara screamed. The librarian struggled to rise. "Elara, run!" "No!" Elara turned toward the mirror face, heart racing but steady. "You want my future?" Her voice shook, but her feet didn't move. "Come take it." The mirror face lunged. The mirror face lunged with impossible speed, a blur of black cloth and shattered reflections. Its fractured mask gleamed with stolen futures, each shard flickering violently as if hungry. Elara barely had time to react. The dreamlight around her hands surged, brightening instinctively as fear sharpened her focus. But the mirror face didn't strike her. Not at first. It pulled. Reality warped inward, as though the creature were tugging on the thread of her destiny, trying to unravel who she might become. Elara staggered as images whipped past her eyes. Her laughing, her crying, her winning, her failing, her loved, her alone. 1,000 possible Elaras being ripped away like pages burning in wind. She screamed. The mirror face hissed with satisfaction. "You carry too many futures," it purred. "Let me lighten you." A ribbon of black glass wrapped around her wrist, yanking her forward. "Elara!" Asterin shouted, stumbling to her feet, but she was too far. Elara felt the tug growing stronger, not just physical, but emotional. A deep, aching temptation to let go of every uncertain tomorrow. She whispered, "Stop, please." The mirror face leaned in, the cracked mask filling her vision. "Give me your brightest dream," it breathed, "and you will never fear again." Elara's pulse hammered. The dreamlight around her flickered and dimmed. She was losing herself. A blur of silver streaked across the chamber. Asterin tackled the mirror face with a burst of starlight, driving it backward. "Get away from her!" she roared. The mirror face shrieked, a high-pitched sound like tearing metal, and hurled Asterin into a pillar so hard it cracked. The mirror face lunged again. This time, Elara didn't dodge. She rewrote. As its hand reached for her future, Elara thrust her palm forward and shouted, "This is my dream!" The air shook. A wave of golden light erupted from her, knocking the mirror face backward. Cracks spiderwebbed across the creature's mask. Fragments of stolen futures burst outward like sparks. Elara pressed in. "You don't get to choose who I become!" she shouted, voice cracking with emotion. "I do!" With every word, dreamlight grew brighter, filling the chamber, filling her chest, filling the space between her and the creature. The mirror face staggered, cloak writhing like living shadow. It hissed, "Rewriters are dangerous." Elara stepped closer, trembling but determined. "Good!" Her dreamlight surged again, a golden pulse that struck the creature square in the mask. "A future isn't something to steal," she said, louder now. "It's something you fight for." The mirror face shrieked as more cracks split its surface. Pieces of its mask fell to the floor, each fragment releasing a stolen tomorrow that drifted upward as soft wisps of color. The creature clutched its face, voice distorting. "You are becoming too bright." Elara raised her hand for the final blow and froze. Because the mirror face wasn't attacking. It was crumbling, and behind the fracturing mask was a face. Not monstrous, not alien. A human face. Young, afraid, lost. Elara gasped. "Asterin, who is he?" Asterin, barely conscious, whispered one word. "Someone who gave up." The last shard of the mask fell away. The creature, now just a trembling figure, collapsed to its knees. Its voice, no longer booming or distorted, spoke in a broken whisper. "I was a dreamer once." Elara's breath caught. The boy lifted his head. His eyes were hollow, like futures never lived. "I feared my dreams," he said. "They felt too heavy, too bright, too much." Elara stepped back, heart twisting. "So you let them go?" He nodded weakly. "And when I abandoned my brightest dream, I shattered. The pieces became this."
He gestured at the broken mask. A monster made of everything I refused to become. Elara shook her head, tears forming. You didn't have to become a monster. I know, the boy whispered. That's why I wanted to spare you. Elara's voice cracked. By stealing my future. He looked down, ashamed. I thought, if no one dreamed, no one would suffer like I did. Silence filled the chamber. For a moment, he didn't look like an enemy. Just someone who once wanted something beautiful and got too scared to reach for it. Elara knelt beside him. You don't get to choose my story, she said gently. But you don't have to stay trapped in yours. The boy looked up, hope flickering weakly. You would release me? Elara nodded. If you let go of the futures you stole. He closed his eyes. One by one, the lights of stolen dreams rose from his cloak, ascending like freed fireflies into the ceiling of the spire. His form grew lighter, less shadow, more air. Thank you, he whispered as his body dissolved into silver dust, for remembering what I forgot. The dreamscape fell silent. The chamber brightened. The spire hummed gently, no longer under attack. Elara turned to Asterin, helping her sit up. Is he gone? Elara whispered. Asterin nodded. His future is free. So is yours. Elara felt a weight lift from her chest. Then I get to choose now. Asterin smiled, tired but proud. You always did. Elara walked to the central beam of light, her future dream floating inside it like a glowing crystal. She reached out. Her fingers touched the surface, and the dream opened like a flower. Inside, she saw not one future but many. Pain, hope, failure, triumph, loneliness, love, fear, joy, all intertwined, all possible. Asterin spoke softly behind her. The future is not a single path, Elara. It's a field, and you grow what you choose to tend. Elara whispered. Then I choose to try.
The dream glowed brighter. Then, gently, it returned to her chest, warming her ribcage like a second heartbeat. She had claimed her future, not by avoiding fear, but by walking into it. The bittersweet dawn. The light faded slowly, like the final note of a lullaby drifting into silence. Elara stood in the quiet aftermath of everything she had seen, her heart still glowing faintly with the dream she had reclaimed. Asterin leaned against a crystalline pillar for support, her silver hair falling softly over her face. But her eyes, those galaxy-filled eyes, sparkled with pride. You did it, she whispered. You faced him. You faced yourself. Elara helped her up. Asterin, I only survived because of you. Asterin shook her head gently. No, Elara, you survived because you told the truth. Truth is the only thing the dreamscape cannot twist. They walked slowly out of the spire, the doors opening for them without resistance, as if recognizing its rightful dreamer. Outside, the dreamscape looked changed, brighter, softer, as though her future's return restored something broken in the world around them.
But the sky held a warning. A thin line of bright white light was forming at the horizon. Dreamlight. Dawn. Elara's breath hitched. "My world is waking up. We must go," Asterin said. "Dawn is beautiful, but deadly for Dreamwalkers." They stepped onto the silver path, moving faster than Elara thought Asterin capable of in her weakened state. "Asterin," Elara said softly, "what happens to you when I wake up?" Asterin slowed. Her expression softened into something sad. "Elara, there is something I must tell you." Asterin stopped walking. The dreamscape wind whispered around them, carrying the faint hum of loosened dream threads. "Elara," she said, "I cannot leave the dreamscape." Elara froze. "What do you mean? You came to my room. I can appear," Asterin said gently. "I can guide, I can protect, but I am bound to this place. I have been for a very, very long time." Elara felt the ache rising in her throat. "But why?" Asterin sighed, the sound filled with centuries of regret. "Because the day I gave my future to the mirror face, I gave up the path that would have led me back home. Without a future to anchor me, I belonged nowhere. But here..." Elara shook her head. "You don't deserve to be trapped. You made one mistake." Asterin smiled sadly. "And I've spent a lifetime trying to make sure no one else repeats it." Elara's voice broke. "Asterin, please, come with me. Just once." Asterin reached out and cupped Elara's face gently. "My dear Dreamwalker, you are going back. You have a future waiting for you. I do not." Elara's eyes filled with tears. "I don't want to leave you. And I don't want you to stay," Asterin whispered. "Your world needs you. Your dreams need you. And you need your waking life far more than you need me." Elara pressed her forehead against Asterin's. "You won't forget me?" Asterin's breath trembled. "Elara, you are the first dreamer in centuries who reminded me what hope feels like. I could never forget you." The horizon brightened dramatically, a sun rising made of pure dreaming light. "We have to go," Asterin said, voice soft but urgent. They ran, across the shifting fields, past the forest of half-made memories, past the orbs of forgotten tomorrows that flickered like tiny stars. Each step grew heavier for Elara, not because she was tired, but because she knew every step brought her closer to losing Asterin forever. Asterin stumbled once, and Elara caught her immediately. "Asterin, please, let me carry you." Asterin shook her head. "You carry enough. Just stay with me until the end." Elara nodded, wiping her tears with trembling hands. The archive's entrance shimmered into view, its golden doors glowing brighter as dawn approached. "Elara," Asterin said gently, "this is where we part." Elara stopped running. Her heart felt like it cracked. "No," she whispered, "just a little longer." Asterin smiled softly. "You'll dream again, and I'll be here, not in your world, but in the one inside you." Elara sobbed quietly. She stepped forward. Asterin pulled her into a tight, fierce embrace. "You saved your future," Asterin whispered into her hair, "and in doing so, you saved a part of mine." Light exploded across the horizon. Dreamlight, too bright, too close. "Elara," Asterin said, her voice strained now. "Go. Wake up. Live." Elara nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I'll come back," she whispered. "I promise." Asterin smiled, eyes shimmering like stardust. "And I will be waiting."
The dream dissolved around her, spinning into white, into warmth, into silence. Then, Elara gasped awake. She was in her bed. Morning sunlight painted soft lines across her blankets. Her heart was pounding. At first, the room was quiet. Then she noticed something glowing on her pillow. A book, small, leather-bound, warm to the touch. Her name was carved on it in gentle silver letters. Elara. Elara lifted it with careful, trembling hands. Inside, the pages were blank, but when she touched the first one, a single line of shimmering ink appeared. "Your future is yours." Below it, another line slowly formed. "Keep dreaming." Elara pressed the book to her chest, eyes wet. "Asterin," she whispered. "I won't forget." Outside her window, the morning breeze carried a faint, impossible whisper. "Nor will I." Elara didn't go back to sleep. She couldn't. The dream book on her pillow glowed faintly, the silver letters of her name shimmering like moonlight trapped in ink. Every time she brushed her thumb across the cover, a pulse of warmth traveled through her chest. The same warmth she felt inside the spire of tomorrow. She dressed quickly, heart buzzing with a strange blend of excitement and ache. Asterin was gone, but the dream book proved she wasn't forgotten. Elara slipped it into her backpack and left the house before sunrise. The old city library, the one she'd visited hundreds of times without ever truly seeing, looked different now. The windows glowed with soft golden haze, as though traces of the dreamscape still clung to the glass. Inside, everything was untouched, ordinary, quiet. But Elara felt the difference. She walked past familiar shelves until she reached the place where the hidden staircase had once appeared. Her heart thudded. She pressed her hand against the bookshelf. Nothing. Just wood. Just shelves. Just books. A pang of disappointment tightened her chest. "Was it all really just a dream?" she whispered. Then the dream book in her backpack gave a single warm pulse. Elara froze. Slowly, she unzipped the bag and lifted the book. The silver letters glowed brighter. A gentle breeze, impossible indoors, brushed past her cheek. Then, a single book on the shelf slid out by itself. Not far, just enough to catch her eye. Elara reached forward and pulled it free. Inside the cover were 5 words written in shimmering ink. "Dreamers return when needed." Elara breathed out, half laughing, half crying. "Asterin," she whispered. "You are still here." Before you go, smash that like button and subscribe to The Success Engine. The story gets darker from here, and the forbidden lore you're waiting for is only found on this channel.